Hey everybody, how are you? This is Heshima Moja, and this is another moment inside the Mojastic mind. I just wanted to talk to you for a minute today about balance and the notion of stillness as a necessity versus stillness as a luxury. I've been contemplating the ideas of stillness this past week, and as I sit enjoying the breeze of this beautiful afternoon, listening to the sounds all around me, listening to my own thoughts, listening to my own heart, and kind of replaying the conversations that I've been sharing with friends, family, colleagues throughout the week, I was really moved to talk about the idea of stillness, the importance of stillness, and the importance of regaining balance. We live in a society where we are so often encouraged to grind. And because I'm a word person, and I know that words really matter, I want you to think about that word grind for 1 second. If gears are grinding, that implies a lack of smoothness, a lack of flow. If bone is grinding against each other, two bones, that means that there's a lack of cartilage, which means there's some friction. If something is grinding, that implies a type of resistance, if you will. And so when I hear phrases like time to rise and grind, while I know what a person might mean, I'm often very interested to wonder what's going on in terms of their thought process. And I think that a lot of that thought process is tied to a culture that wants us to work until we drop. We're very often taught that the only way to reach our goals is to work hard. And I believe in hard work, and I believe in discipline. I'm a very disciplined and focused person. But everything in the universe operates on the principle of balance. Night, day. Resting, moving forward, stepping back, hot, cold, soft, hard. Everything is based upon balance. And when something is out of balance, then there's usually an extreme of one thing or the other. And this is kind of how our lives seem to operate in a world where we're encouraged and almost shamed if we don't work so hard that we feel like we're going to collapse. And in that context, stillness is looked at as a luxury versus a necessity. Stillness as a luxury versus a necessity. So we have people, quite often when I'm speaking to people, some are family members, some are friends, sometimes it's myself, and I have to be reminded myself. Say, hey, slow down, take a break. No, I can't. I'd love to, but I just don't have that luxury right now. I have this to do. I have that to do. I have deadlines to meet. And those are very real things. And sometimes we do have to push just a little bit further. But sometimes when we're becoming aware that things are not necessarily working the way that we want them to work, and we're feeling exhausted, and we're feeling drained, and we're feeling like, I just need a timeout. Sometimes we're feeling the physical effects, sometimes mental, sometimes both. It's really important that we learn how to practice stillness and make stillness as much a part of our lives as movement. Movement is where we put our goals into action, our dreams, our thoughts, our goals, and we work toward them. But stillness is where we recharge the battery. If you drive your car nonstop and you never pull over and shut the car off, parts wear out. Things begin to happen to the vehicle. Needs to be pulled over to the side of the road for some regular maintenance. Well, that's what stillness is. Stillness is time for regular maintenance. It's also where we receive more inspiration. It's also where we receive clarity about things that might not seem to be working. And we're able to perform a systems analysis, if you will. And so it's very important when we look at people, for instance, who may grind all the time, and they reach a very high level of success in their careers, financially, in terms of the level of respect that they gain in their profession, and those things are admirable and very important. But we may not really see the other side of their life that may be suffering. Maybe their health is suffering. Maybe their personal relationships are suffering. Maybe there's other things in them that are not fulfilled because they've bought into the idea that I have to go nonstop. Because if I stop, I may not reach my goals. Someone else may reach what I'm trying to reach before me. So it's this idea of competition. All of those things. And then conversely, you have people in life who have bought into the notion that if they reach a very high level of success financially, career-wise, that they may lose their spirituality, right? Which is really rooted in some other ideas, which I'll talk about in another video. But everything is balance. So you may have those people who feel themselves to be very spiritual and they're nice people and they help a lot of people, but then they struggle and they're frustrated constantly with finances or with lack of achievement in their career because they believe the other extreme, the other side of things, that they can't be too focused on success or they'll lose another part of themselves. All of those things are rooted in fear, and fear saps us of our vital energy. Fear saps us of the ability to continue to move forward, and eventually we start to lose energy. Those who think on one side of the pendulum, those who think on the other side. Extremes. But balance, the middle way. And the idea that we can have the best of both worlds. We can be successful and spiritual. We can have money and still be good people. But we have to know when to take time to rebalance, to reset. When you drive a car, the battery is a vital component in the car. It creates the spark, creates combustion in the engine. Electricity is vital for many functions in the car. But you also have the alternator, and the alternator helps to recharge the battery. There's a balance, right? As I mentioned many times, the bird requires 2 wings to fly. The eagle can only soar very high with 2 wings. The boat only moves in the water evenly if both oars are operating, right? If the alternator in the car is not functioning properly, it's not recharging the battery. And if we shut off the car and the battery's not recharging, then we end up in a very precarious position, because when we shut the car off, it won't restart, right? And many of us unconsciously know or feel that we're operating in a way where our battery's not recharging, and we're afraid to slow down, because if we slow down, we're afraid we're not going to get going again. When you get to that point, it's time to slow down. It's time to recharge. It's time to return to balance. Returning to balance. Stillness and movement. Forward and moving backward. Stillness is not a luxury, it's a necessity. So I want to encourage you to take some time each day and recharge your battery. Shut off the devices. Sit still. Stop being afraid of hearing the thoughts that are churning in your mind and the feelings that are churning in your heart, and sit with them, because they hold the key to the clarity that you're seeking. They hold the key to the answers that you seek. Return to balance, my friends. Thanks for joining me for an extended moment inside the Mojastic Mind. I'll talk to you again real soon. Please continue to follow my YouTube channel. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and check out my album, The Awakening, on all digital platforms. I'll talk to you soon. Have a wonderful day. Peace, love, and light.